Favorite half Chinese, and today we're going to talk about the real enemy in the room. They're always telling us nowadays China is our greatest enemy, but if we look at all reality, is it China that's raising our prices, or is it our capitalists that are raising our prices? Is China making our policies to contain our own people, to put sanctions on our own people, to deny them cheaper energy, or is it our governments that are doing it? Who is exactly our enemy? Look at the view, it's a beautiful view, right? When you look at it from that perspective, how can we say that China is our enemy when China is bringing in all those goods which are keeping our inflation low and which creates circumstances that we can drive business all over the world? There's something to think about. And I think people need to get out of their shell to, yes, I'm already going. Do you hear him? Yeah, he tells me, do not come near my wife. So, anyway, I think it is time for the people to start to think for themselves. Every time when our governments and our media are calling others enemies, should we still listen to them? What consists an enemy, especially when you're living here, right here in the West? Can you still remember the last time somebody attacked us? Well, the only ones that attacked us in a short period of time was actually Germany. And a lot of people also suspect the United States of doing the boom boom with Nord Stream, right? Yet none of them is considered an enemy. But a country that is producing and manufacturing for our capitalists for a very cheap price, that actually should keep our inflation low, but doesn't because of these exact capitalists, because they want to take the majority of that money, and it's not going up to wages because everybody is working for them is not getting enough to make ends meet, right? So in what way did China become our enemy? This is something that we should start to think about. Why are we calling a country that is making quality products for us very cheap for a really, really good and decent, reasonable price? Why are we calling them an enemy? So that is just really, really something to think about. And why do we as people allow this to happen? Why do we let the Chinese diaspora in the West being vilified by our Western media and our government? Because that is exactly what's happening. Everybody who is living in the West, all the Chinese diaspora, is being vilified. Because we cannot escape it. The Chinese in China, they don't really care about what's said in our media. Because they have a choice not to watch it, right? They do not, it doesn't directly pop up on the screen once they are opening their computer or look on whatever social media site they are using. For us as Chinese diaspora, it does. We cannot escape it. And wherever we go, we are being confronted by other people who think that we are somehow the most horrible people, but have never an answer on what we have done them wrong. They always come with all sorts of things like, oh, human rights abuses in China. But they can never prove it, a single one. And when we talk about, oh, all the wars that the West has started on other nations, then they tell us we should not be talking about the history. It's always the same theme. Why are you bringing that up? It's painful. So yeah, I think it is time to start thinking and to start to do a little bit of soul searching, because a lot of times the people always talked about the Chinese people in the West, the diaspora. Oh, they are so decent. They never bother us. They always hardworking, etc. Well, do you want to keep it that way? Then you should change it, right? Because honestly, people are getting really fed up. They're getting really angry. Why are we being vilified? And then a lot of the Western people are saying, oh, it is not against you. What? Not against us? You're literally creating hate against Chinese, and it's not against us? The figures already are saying it, 1,000% up, over 1,000% up hate crimes against Asian people. They call it Asian people, but it's targeted against Chinese people specifically. So everybody already knew before, because there was another group that already had to suffer from it, and those were the Muslims after 2001. And we knew what happened after the whole hate campaign that they started to make you believe that invading all those Muslim nations was a good idea, right? And until today, they're still being vilified and still being attacked, right? And now the same is going on with the Chinese people, the Chinese diaspora. So one day you might find yourself in something that the Chinese people, the Chinese diaspora really will change their mind on being that so-called quiet so-called foreigner. For whatever reason, we are always being also called foreigners, even when we are born here or are living here for generations long. So I hope that this will also set something to think for other people, and that people will start to think about, is this really what we want? And look at the beautiful view. Is this really what we want? Because yeah, I have to walk back and forth because my bike is over there. Yeah, that was actually it. What I wanted to say is, why is China our enemy? And you know, start to think what it does with the Chinese diaspora, because you bring a lot of hate upon us, a lot of crimes against us, and it's going to escalate at one point of time. We will not sit still and idle anymore, and one day it's going to be over, and people are going to separate from the other communities. And you know, if that's what you want, then keep pushing it. But don't say that Mr. Fong did not warn you of what's going to come, because it's only naturally, if you are keep oppressing people, that's what's actually is happening now. Because even in the media, our media is literally going after Chinese people. I will come out soon with a story about something what happened when with another woman, how they tried to destroy her image and everything. Well, she had nothing to do with politics, right? This has got to stop. And if you're just a normal citizen, you know, just think about if you would be living in China and they would be doing this to the Dutch community or the American community or whatever community you're from. You wouldn't like that, right? You would like to be treated fairly, right? It is not necessarily to lie the whole day about China and to make Chinese people the subject and topic of every single story, to create as much hate as possible. It is not necessary, and it creates hate because it has been proven that it has. Right? There's no doubt about it. People have been vilified, people are being beaten up, spit on, and verbally, physically, and even sometimes until they lose their lives. So I hope everybody will start to think after this morning rant about these kind of things, and also think about what would happen if the Chinese all of a sudden say, yeah, this gotta stop, and we are going to create the circumstances to stop it. That would be a whole different story, right? So just think about it. Anyway, this was your morning rant that I did on another location, actually almost in the evening, but I wanted to, I forgot to record this morning, so I did it right now. and it's a beautiful place. As you can see, it's almost sunset, right? It's great to do this here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, then like, share, and if you have not yet, then follow. This was your favorite Half Chinese, and as always, have a great day.
记得点赞和关注哦。